Hello everyone and welcome back to another video, and today I will attempt to beat the entire game of Coromon with just one Fiddly. This challenge was done in honor of Congress of Crabs after I won the Swarmy vs Fiddly war, but I really enjoyed it, so after exploring Swarmy's strengths I wanted to see how strong Fiddly really is. Totally if not to have a better knowledge of Fiddly if a second war ever broke out. I would never! Anyway, let's analyze Fiddly real quick. And by that I mean the Evolve Yucca class, since that's very different from just regular old Fiddly. But I'll say Fiddly for the whole video. Fiddly has a bunch of defense and attack, with some decent HP, but everything else is just kinda lacking. However, I can always make up with potential points. It has great coverage for both physical and special. It has Head Crash, Stone Fist, Quicksand, Bubble Blower, whatever you need it to, it can. It even has stuff like Epiphany and Agility training for setup. Now onto the traits. It has Conserver, we don't talk about Conserver, Fully Rested, Humidifier, and Polished Body. These three are all amazing and can deal with different scenarios. Fully Rested is best for stall, Humidifier against fire types along with extra splatter damage, and Polished Body against Crimsonite Coromon. I think I wanna review the strategies as I go along this time and not waste 5 minutes in the intro taking all of the fun out of the run. As always, I'm writing this part before I've even started. Comment down below how you think I'll do. I think I'll struggle quite a bit with Voltgar, but once I beat him I'll be golden and deal with the rest of the game easily, until Vørst will give me lots of trouble, but Chalchiu will be easy because of one specific strategy I have in mind. Now onto the rules. I can only use Fiddly in battle. Support team members are allowed to heal me and stuff, but I won't be allowed to use those in battle or have traits for Thunder Salvo Priority or Glacier Infinity. No cakes in battle, held items are allowed. I am allowed to use spinners and stuff to catch some Coromon, but I won't be allowed to use any cakes in battle to help me. I can't skip trainers willingly. If I miss a trainer it's fine, but I can't willingly skip it because I can't beat it. Smarter Coromon has to be on, and no glitch to exploits. I also play with reduced RNG mode for a reason you'll see later. Now it's time for our starter, and wow, I wonder who I'll choose. I actually got a potent Fiddly on my first attempt. I named it Fiddler because Congress of Crabs told me to. Alright then Fiddler, I think we'll have a great adventure. The first thing of note is the Beazle fight, which I lost at level 8. However, next level I got my next big power boost, Fury Pincers, which decimated Beazle, mainly because I turned on reduced RNG mode here. Fiddler's main water type attacking skills are multi-hitting skills. On regular playthroughs these are unreliable, but on reduced RNG mode, how many times they hit are determined by stat changes to your speed, which makes them actually reliable and predictable. And because of the Fiddly vs Swarmy war, I realized that one agility training gives me both 50% more damage and speed in one turn, since I'm both faster and hit 3 times instead of 2 with Splatter and Fury Pincers. This will be my main strategy for a while, and it works really well since Splatter doesn't make contact, so I won't get status or spike bodied, which I'll get soon, and Humidifier boosts it another 50%, basically setting me up for a sweep in one turn. My next tough battle was Velua, surprisingly enough. Since I turned on the smarter Coromon and most of the Coromon have a super effective attack, they'll use it and it does a lot of damage all piled up. Lampire and Lunar Pop have priority Quad Volt and Fade attack, while Nibelgar leaves my attacks and jumps me down. I can't set up anymore because Swarmy poisons me and I can't outspeed a priority skill. Setting up on Nibelgar isn't an option because I'm gonna faint if I stop another turn, but to get around this I employed a strategy that will make most trainer hop nurses tremble in fear. I gave him a canoe food, and that mostly solved the issues. This type of thing happens a lot during the run, but because of requests to not include useless things to shorten the video a bit, I will not include these from now on, but just know they did happen, and I mostly just handled them by just trying again and being prepared. Sorry for the plug, but at the end of the video, if you enjoyed it and have something to say, just go ahead and leave a comment down below. I just really enjoy reading those. Next up, Donner Island. The trade formatter changed twice as I'm recording, so you know how long I slacked on making this video, but in the recording, it's only 10 steps and you choose what trait you want. I put Humidifier my Fiddly because 3 hit Splatter on the rain is very strong. Also it blocks the twilight in the caves, which I didn't even realize until now writing the script, but it would prevent me from setting up, so by chance, things work out somehow. I also potentiated Fiddly and it was once again a potential 20, nah, I'm just kidding. It was a potential 17. Still ask what potential Fiddly was though. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. Fusebox was dealt with, Crimsonite Luman one shot, and Fiddly wanted to evolve in the power tower, but I didn't want to intimidate Voltgar with your class heights, seeing as he's quite insecure about it, so tiny crab it is. Speaking of him, next up we have Voltgar, and even though he's short, he sure knows how to throw a frisbee.
Now Morgan forced to go to the backhand here.
Oh! Oh no!
His first stage has only special skills, so that makes it hard, and the spectrality skill flash is Powdery. Alright, so during the recording there's been like 50 times where I was confused whether Splatter, like 3 hitting Splatter under rain, was stronger than Scratch. And that's a super effective Scratch versus resisted Splatter. Now the current calcs say Splatter is stronger, but I've had to like re-record this part so many times. I'm just gonna say that, okay, I just use Splatter. Scratch may or may not have been stronger. You can leave it in the comments what you think. I currently think Splatter does more damage because of the 1.5 times 1.5 principle being more than 2 times. But anyway, just know that whatever the answer is, I use Splatter in the playthrough, and that's all that matters. The rain also blocks out Voltgar's SP lowering weather, which is pretty cool and unintentionally clutch. Anyway, now time for the battle. Since the beginning I was hoarding all my potential points into special defense, not only to cover Fiddly's only real weakness, but also to make sure I could live Voltgar's attacks. Attempts started at level 35 but quickly got shut down, and thus the grinding began. At level 44 Victoria actually started getting a chance. I got this one run where he lived on 1 HP, but that gave me the green light that I can do this feasibly at this level, so I tried some more and eventually got this run. Rain comes in Chalchiu, saving me from the SP drainage weather Voltgar does, which would have both weakened my attacks because Rain is gone, but also made it so I precisely didn't run out of SP at the very last attack. Very clutch. Anyway, that's Voltgar splattered to pieces. With that out of the way, we now venture into Soggy Swamp and I breeze through the trainers there, same with the monastery guys in Paubury. This area is pretty story heavy, so unless I use Vermeer or Pergy, I don't have much to talk about. Then I have to fight Illuginn, and he's always a breeze in challenge runs, but difficult in playthroughs weirdly enough. I still like always managed to get him to second phase, but then he disabled my Splatter, my only attacking move, which meant I had to find the way to stall the next few turns if I wanted to somehow win. Luckily I had a Uno reverse card up my sleeve, and also disabled his own real attacking skill, Ball of Light. He also has premonition, but until that would hit, my own Splatter would be back, and thanks to some more epiphanies I set up during the waiting, I only needed 2 more Splatters to finish the job, and so down Illuginn goes. Very good battle. Waxing Desert is up next, but we're breezing through this challenge so far, so let's slow down a bit with an announcement. I have a Google form where you can vote for the next challenge run on the poll. It's 2 questions, one asking for all your picks, and the other asking for the top 3, and whatever has the highest votes will be on the major video polls, which is where the actual voting will occur. Whilst in Desert time, I beat every trainer easily, no surprise, but even the guard captain was a joke, so I got really bored. I fixed it by upping the levels of everything to the max, and obviously that was overkill, but I still kept the increased levels for a while, changing them as I saw fit throughout the run, never actually lowering the levels beyond normal though. I only lowered the trainer levels though. Titans and Wild Coromon were still plus 50%, which is the max. By the way, higher Coromon levels through this like percent system specifically don't give you more XP, so that's not an issue I have to deal with. I did this because I didn't want to skip trainers or level cap, because Vørst is coming and he won't be easy to deal with, and seeing the matchup I might have to grind if I just stop leveling, so giving everything the appearance of being harder just makes this more fun while not compromising the rest of the run. Anyway, now on to Sart. I don't want to make a 3-minute long analysis on this. I just epiphanied and splattered him to death, same as his followers, no more questions asked. Time for the mirror challenge now. I wanted to use a strategy involving recall from head bash and last stand for extra style points, but it didn't exactly work as intended. However, I did win eventually. You win some, you lose some, I guess. But it means that now I can get my regular Shimshet and Flow set up to make healing easier. I found the potent slowish and I almost ran away because I set my wild Coromon level to plus 50% and I can get up to level 48 slowish here and I don't want to bother leveling it up, but I thought why not? And the one time I got a potent, it was a potential 20. I was beyond excited, but that took all of my luck away because I was looking for shim shells for over 30 minutes after that, sped up to the max. But I needed 10 minutes of 2x speed before one even showed up. But ignoring that, now is a great time to name them. I named one of the shim shells Illuginn because he made some fan art for me. A while back I posted some concept art of what I looked like in my imaginary scenario since I was a kid, and it's gone through very little change. So I decided to finally bring it to life and made some art showing it off. You may realize that this is what the floating talking head in my most recent videos is. And immediately after posting it, Illuginn, a complete stranger at that point, made fan art of it, or as he described it, draw it in his own style. I don't know where it came from, I don't think I've seen him talk in that channel before, but that doesn't matter, you know, because as you can see here, clearly his art style is amazing, and I love the fan art he made a lot. But he's not the only one here. Another fan art maker also stepped up to the challenge and also brought it to life. He even put his own spin on like the clothes. And I think they look even better than what I had envisioned it. You know, I never really had the processing power to think of both the clothes and the head at the same time, and the head is way more important, so... I really thank you all for all of the fan art. It's stored not in my phone's fan art folder, well, there too, but in the deepest part of my heart. It really means a lot to me seeing it all. Let's return to the Fiddly run. After that, it was time for the double Centilla fight. Wait, if these are skill and wild Coromon levels instead of trainer levels, I'm screwed. Level 7, okay. Yeah, well, I was indeed screwed. Tried to win using some far-fetched cheese strategies, but it didn't quite work. It got me close, but just not close enough. I tried a few more times with similar results. So I lowered the levels so they would be like 10 levels lower and managed to win, but I could have probably won with just a 5 level decrease. Granted, at a snail's pace. We reach Velua, and you know what that means. Light Sensei training montage. I'll tell him one of these workouts I'm doing is I'm climbing this mountain 3,000 feet in 3 miles. He says, yeah, I do that every day. So the next morning I'm out looking for him. Didn't see him. Couple days later, looking for him. Didn't see him. So here I am climbing the mountain again. There's a gondola that takes you up, that takes you down. So I'm going up it. I'm about 5 minutes from the top. I look up at the gondola and I see him, face pressed up against the window. Our eyes meet. It's called the look. When you take a mother fiddly soul, don't talk about it. Be about it. Practice what you preach. Stay hard. Now I need to catch Fiddly to beat Light Sensei, and I do it right this time. I set the wild Coromon level to plus 50% before, so I don't need to set it back. And I use the protein scent. I spent just under an hour hunting for a Fiddly that's level 40 or above. Keep in mind I can go up to level 49 here, not even including the protein scent. But after so much hunting, I just give up. I catch a level 41, I set its moves, give it a canoe and everything, catch the filler mons for the squad, and the first encounter out of the water is this. A level 49 Yucca Claw that I could have devolved and used, and their levels range from 34 to 37, or 51 to 55 at plus 50%, so I could have gotten an even higher level, plus the protein scent at the other Wait, those numbers, they don't really match up, do they? Wait, oh no. Do not tell me that this can't be. No. I only set it to plus 20% because of the Centilla fight, bro. How could I be so dumb? I even got another level 40 Fiddly earlier on, but I was like, come on, I can go to level 49, I can do better. What a heartbreaking mistake. I will never mentally recover from this. However, Even though this left a scar, I think they look cool. So I immediately manned up and started hunting for a good level Claw with the actual levels that they're supposed to be. I developed it, gave it the right skills and a canul fruit. I fought against Light Sensei a few times, but even though I can beat Arcturus and Dropshus, Atlantern is just too tanky and it messes me up. It was a long and painful cycle of looking for a good Yuka Claw, giving it a canul fruit, a moveset, devolving it, fighting Light Sensei, thinking of a new strategy, catching another Yuka Claw, and repeating. But it all ended after I crafted the perfect last resort plan. Remember how I mentioned reduced RNG mode? It's not in the rules, but I just want to add it. Well, let's just not. I decided that I'll step a bit on Atlantern, land the death grip, and then just sweep his team. Only for him to lead with Raptures after 20 attempts. It'd give me time to get 6 epiphanies while only doing 10 damage total. Okay, that might be the most anticlimactic end to hours of attempts and work that I've ever had. I guess it could be one in the end. Okay, wow. Moving forward, there were no issues in Mount Mossball trainer-wise, so now I went to Hozai, and while his Swarmy counterpart won the Swarmy vs Fiddly war, he did not. Hozai just perishes against anything in rain. I stayed at full HP 80% of the fight. Keep in mind, I fought him at plus 50% levels, at level 83, higher than my Fiddly even, and he had 2100 HP, even more than Chalchiu, who's at 1500. Maybe he'll win if I fight him 2 more times, because of Hozai Swarmy curse during the Swarmy war. But speaking of the Swarmy war, time to do like I did during the Swarmy war and turn to the snow. I was doing my thing, beating the trainers in Frisia Pass and prepping for midwinter solstice, but then I got ambushed by the AAA squad. This time I was prepared and properly recorded the whole thing, but I just kept losing over and over again. They had zero variety between their moves, since they were on smarter Coromon, and they weren't attacking anywhere close to how I would think they would attack, and thus my plan didn't work, and I had no idea what to do. Grinding to level 99 probably won't save me, because I'm already level 88, and 88 to 99 isn't actually that much of a difference. So I gave in and turned off Smart Coromon and beat it normally on down Coromon. But I tried again after winning to get a more satisfying attempt by playing dumb and taking extra damage, so I'm not left with a completely unsatisfied mind. And I can say that at least I got that at the end of the day.
Why did you run away back then? What a waste of talent.
Whoa, you almost got me there, but no. Screw this! Give me your best opponents yet. To overcome this, I just need to imagine a future version of myself who's freely surpassed all my limits. That's all! I can do it right this time. No, we can! Fiddly!
With a strong foundation, and a little bit of sense and imagination, it just takes the slightest trigger to change a person. Moments like these are the places where the most growth can occur.
Splatter them to pieces, Fiddler! I almost just pulled a Megami there, huh? Anyway, basically my first strategy just sucked. I can OHKO the Arctas and 2-hit KO the Arcturus. I can put max special defense and just splatter them along with rain. I don't know why they acted so differently this match, when all the ones before were so similar to each other. And I did double check, and I did indeed have the smarter Coromon and smarter trainers on. I also gave him a Canul Fruit, since it's better than a Revitalizer if the battle is shortened to 10 turns in most scenarios. Now Thomas, he was easy, just set up and sweep. there was some technicality on which Coromon I set up which stats, but it's just not setting up agility training on Coromon that have quicksand, and setting up agility training on the next one that didn't. Anyway, now the battle I've been dreading the most, the Vørst fight. This is a hard battle, even though I have coverage for him. First of all, my stronger every type move has recoil, which may outright kill me from full HP if I deal too much damage. And second, he's got some powerful skills that can really mess me up. But under the absolute most specific and reality-altering circumstances, I can beat him without leveling, by using the game's AI against itself and using all the mechanics I can, and all the mechanics that Fiddly has to offer. First of all, remove all my teammates. It has Iceberg Sweep, which he only uses when I have other teammates. His next good move is Icy Flurry, but just as I can boost my splatters, I can nerf his Icy Flurries. I outspeed even with 0 speed invest, so that means I can quicksand, lower his speed, and he has no way to get it back for the rest of the match until I trigger Pure Essence. Next up, I Spectral Lattice to make sure that even if he hits the Ice Flurry, it doesn't get past my main strategy, Revitalizer Gem, fully rested ++. Basically what this strategy entails is me tanking a hit from fully rested ++, but because the 75% damage reduction is so big, I take very little damage. Little in fact, that with Spectral Lattice and Epiphanies, I can tank whatever hit forces I use, only take like 10 damage, have Revitalizer heal me back to full, thus activating my fully rested again and starting the cycle again. Basically makes me invincible as long as Spectral Lattice is up. What I have to do then is set up for the second and third phases. Normally when Vørst falls below like, I don't know, 70% HP, his first phase activates and he raises his attack and special attack by 1 stage, as well as freezing your lead Coromon. Then at 50%, resets all stat changes of everything, including the one he set on himself just before, and freezes your entire team. However, unlike the 50% thing, the 70% stage doesn't stop you from dealing more damage until it finishes its own speech and power up and stuff, meaning you can do enough damage to get him to the 50% stage instantly. Normally you'd freeze once at 70% and another time at 50%, but because of how freeze works, you can start the thawing out during the 70% stage and can't be frozen again, even though you technically aren't frozen and will thaw out next turn. Because of this, you can basically start the second phase in a neutral position, similar to how the fight began. And he'll act the same too, meaning you can just quicksand, Spectral Lattice and Epiphany up. But we do have to act in a certain way to ensure that we're truly neutral at the end of the stage. First of all, make sure Spectral Lattice is up directly before decimating Vørst with Body Blast, because I can, but also because I also don't have many turns to waste. I also need to make sure that I'm basically at full SP and that Vørst is basically out of SP, so that either on the turn of the attack or the turn after the attack, he's out of SP and I get the free turn. That's when I use Quicksand if this hits, and using fully rested ++ and the Revitalizer Gem strat and Spectral Lattice, I stop again and KO him after a very long battle. It's like 5 minutes, but only like 2 hits in total. Now let's see how I deal with a quad Crimsonite ambush. And to be honest, the battles in this run remind me a lot of the very stall heavy Coronet matches. Something about how I stall until the stars align and only strike then just reminds me of how stall heavy Bless Grounds matches feel. Anyway, the strat for this was spam the fully rested Revitalizer strat for the first fight to be fresh for the second wave, set up a bit and then splatter them to pieces. The Lampire actually only has Lacerate as his attacking move. Chalchiu. I went in this fight over-leveled and confident that I would win. I know, 2 things that don't really go together, but I can't say my confidence was shattered either. My main strategy I was heavily relying on is setting up and just tanking hits for a while, in which time he'd use Distortion and Shadowrend as those do a lot of damage, along with lowering my stats. However, if he decides to go for those, my Polish Body ++ rate will not only reflect those stat debuffs, but also amplify them by 1 stage, So after 3 or 4 turns, she should render herself completely useless by lowering her stats beyond recognition, and keep doing that as I set up epiphanies, at which point I can get as close as possible to one-shotting her. However, after a talk with Johem, this would only remain a made-up scenario in my head. You see, the opposing Coromon can actively see your skills and stats, held items, and whatever else info you can get while battling. It uses this to its advantage and uses the skills accordingly, meaning it saw the stat debuffs it would give itself with Shadowrend and Distortion, and said, nah. Which also explains why the Arcta and uros ambushed in a live didn't work as expected either. I had Polished Body as my trait, and as they only used the ice skills, and when I switched to Humidifier, they started using the dark magic skills again. But I can still use this to my advantage, because the only other skills Chalchiu has are Disable Heal, Splash, and Bubble Blower. Bubble Blower is resisted and it just does very little damage, so I only have to worry about Splash. My first attempt tried to stall out Chalchiu a bit while setting up, but my healing was still slower than the damage she deals. I tried like 2 more times, and I decided another strategy would work better. Granted that since I was only 1 hit off booning my first attempt, I could have probably won just fine with a few more attempts. First off, I reset my potential points to have more HP, SP, and attack. Since I outspeed base Chalchiu and Bubble Blower is so weak, I'm not even gonna have to worry about it. Then I got to level 99 and max potential points. My first new strategy was with Disable instead of Ninja Stance, because if I disable Splash, how else is she gonna threaten me? And it was not even close with that. I entered the battle at like 2/3 of my HP, but it was so underwhelming, I decided to try again with a weaker strategy, but that too was still a landslide for me. Maybe grinding wasn't the right option. You know, I could have increased Chalchiu's level, but that wouldn't actually have done anything with it, because like, Splash still just does the same amount of damage. But this video needs to be more epic, so let me just drop this. Man, this is looking bad for us. We might just have to Fiddly. It might be incomplete, but that's all we can do right now. Power up and get ready for Oceanic Assault! Huh? Whoa, Fiddly. Can you feel it? The essence coursing through us right now. It's the same energy we felt during our first battle, when meeting Light Sensei, when helping Alavi, and all kinds of other places here in Velua. It shows the bond we share, not just between us, but the one across all the living beings we met. The Coromon, the people, even the plants and waters around us. Wait, I got it! The final piece of the puzzle towards mastering our final move. You understand, don't you, Fiddly? So, you ready? Let's end this. Fiddly, splatter them to pieces.